guys, jtmoffroad here. In today's video, I'm going to try to get rid of this driver's side lean. So ever since I wanted to lift this, I didn't buy a brand new one. I looked around on Craigslist, found a 4.5 inch rough country lift kit for like 150 bucks or something like that. I took it, ground all the rust down, repainted everything. After it's all said and done, I saved a little bit, but it would have been better off just buying a kit, brand new, didn't have to mess with anything. So when I bought it, it was 4 years old already. The guy said he had never off-roaded. I don't know if that's exactly true or not. When I first got it, one of the springs was already a little bent. That's the rear driver's side one. Driving around, it's always sat, it's always had a little bit of a lean to the driver's side. When I did the 8.8, it was even more apparent once I took the shocks and everything out. And I think it's just because the shocks were out that maybe the shocks were, helping some of that load. And now that since the shocks aren't there, it's even more apparent now. So I'm gonna grab a tape measure and show you exactly how much of a lean this is. Passenger side over here, we're about 26.5. Driver's side, we're just above 24. It's about close to 2.5 inches. With me in it, my weight sitting on it sags down even more. I'm guessing the springs are just bent and worn. They just need replaced because at this point, these springs are about 8 years old now. And after going off-roading with them and everything, haven't broken them yet. I'm surprised. I would have thought I would have broken a spring by now. One of my buddies gave me a Rubicon Express set in the back I'm going to throw in. So I'm going to take the old springs off, put the new ones on. I probably should take the time to clean them up, paint them, everything, put them back in. But just really want to get those on and do some more driving before the snow comes. Once the snow comes, I'll go ahead and take those back off, clean them up and everything, and then we'll be good to go. One thing you'll notice I did in the 8.8 videos was I used a bunch of pieces of wood underneath jack stands. So I still have to do the same thing for this so I can get the frame up high enough so I can take the springs out. But to do that, don't really want to just throw those pieces of wood together again. I want to make sure they're all secured together. Basically, I have a bunch of cuts of wood that have been laying aside, and plus I have more 2x4, 8-foot lengths sitting up there behind there. So took the smallest pieces I could use, scrapped the rest. So right there, I got about 10.5 inches. I'm gonna make this a square. This seems like this has enough space. So 3 of these aside, I'm going to stagger the bits of wood as I go up and then make another top plate like this. And then if I feel like it, I might get a thick piece of plywood or something put on top, or a piece of metal if I get the time. I'm probably just going to go with this for now. 10.5 inches, make it square. I'll go ahead and set my fence on my table saw and just go ahead and rip through these. Go ahead and stack them all up, and we should be good. Alright, so I got all my pieces cut and I'm about to assemble them. I just want to let you know something. There's one thing I hate, and it's Torx head bolts. There's one thing I love, that are Torx head screws. Torx head bolts on a Jeep, terrible. So bad, so easy to strip out. It's just, they're a nightmare. I hate them. Anything that I pull out of the Jeep that's Torx head, that's like exterior, anything that's going to see, a lot of corrosion or anything like that, instantly change it out with a hex head. As for anything with wood or anything like that, I go straight to Torx head screws. These guys do so much better than Phillips head, from what I've known. and obviously flatheads, because flatheads are stupid. So, you know, you go get a box of like Spacs or something like that, and then they'll come with a small bit like so. They tend to have like a 2-pack of these drivers. These are nice because you don't have to put them in anything else. They're their own lengthy ones. So those grip in pretty nice. I like using those. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this. I have 2.5-inch screws here, so I'm gonna use those. Those go through pretty well and don't go through the other side. So I'm just gonna build as I go up, you know, stack all these, put them together. I'm gonna drill all my holes out. I don't like splitting wood when I'm doing this kind of stuff. So go ahead and do that and have these all done. It's all done, solid, gonna work great. This way I don't have to have all these pieces flying all over the place like I did last time. This is all one contained unit. So if I really wanted to later on, I could put like a flat piece of metal on top or something, just so that over time these won't sink down into the wood. But for now, with my time constraint, all I wanted to get done was this solid piece. So I gotta make the other one, and chances are I don't have many screws left, so I'll get like halfway through that one. So at least this one's done. I'll get started on this other one. I won't video that one because it's the same thing as this, and we'll see what happens next. Alrighty, these are done. I did have to go out and get more screws, but these are all done now, ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing into that. I got springs on either side sitting there ready to go. So I can go ahead and jack it up, start taking everything apart. Also, just to verify that it is the springs and not some frame twisting or something, went ahead and measured. We're sitting at about 27 right here. Passenger side, we're like, yeah, a little under 27. But not by much. It's pretty close. So that could just be from the jack stands or something else settling or something, but I definitely think it's the springs. So go ahead and start taking the rest of that stuff off. Alright, one side's out, and next thing I gotta do, this is gonna be for both sides, but when I do this, I have to take off this shim and take this center pin out, put it on here, and hopefully, since this was I just recently did this, this should come off pretty easy. I don't know about this one. At least if it breaks off, you know, everything's gonna be fine. So what I'm gonna do is take this out, put this shim on here, and that's how it's gonna run for now, because still haven't adjusted anything from I haven't done the SYE on this yet. So everything's still that same way it was before. So shim on pack I'm gonna be using, and then we can put this back in there, and we'll have to do the other side. Alright, that's all about I'm going to be able to get done today. We're going to be going out tonight, so I'm going to get cleaned up, get ready. So I want to let you know what I got done here. Got the spring in. I'm not putting the U-bolts on yet because I'm going to go do the other side. Once I get the other side, then I can rest the axle on the spring so I can get the centering pins in the hole. I will note, I videoed me putting this shim in backwards. I was thinking that this side of the spring was supposed to go on the shackle side, but the hole is actually bigger in here than there, so this bolt wouldn't go through this side. So I had to take the pack back apart, flip it, put it back in. So should be good now. So I still have to take care of the other side, but that's about all I'm going to get done for today. I won't video the other side. But when I come back, I'll go ahead and video putting the U-bolts back in and get it wrapped up, and hopefully it sits a lot more level. The day has finally come. I've got U-bolts. Time to put them in. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to throw a coat of paint on these ones. So I'm going to tape off the threads. My spring plates that I had before, I figured I'd go ahead and actually grind these down and clean them up, paint them, so hopefully they last until I get time to work on cleaning up the rest of the axle. I don't know why I'm just cleaning up the rest of the axle now and doing that now. I guess I'm just lazy and I want to get this running again. But eventually I will go ahead and clean the axle up, paint everything up nice. But I just want to get it back together. But I will take the time to paint these before I put them back in. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's get to it. It's actually a day later, paint's dried. Turns out really good. Makes me wish I would take more time and actually paint everything so it looks nice. But who has time for that? So it's actually really late right now. I just wanted to get out and bolt them in. That way they're bolted in. And then that's one less thing I gotta do whenever I go to work on the shocks, which is happening at the same time, but it's also another video, and yeah. So gonna go ahead and take those, bolt them in, be done for tonight. Well, I can't remember what the measurements were at the beginning of the video, but we're sitting at 26 on this side. Please be a relatively close number on this side. And we're just a little under 27. So that's a lot better. It was like 3 inches before, and now it's just like an inch off. So that's not bad, because these are still old springs, so I'll take it. That'll work for now. There's really not much to talk about on this one. We swapped out springs, and now it sits more even. At least I know my frame's not twisted. That's great. As always, guys, give the video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.